Hello everyone, it is Foul Play here, and today I am joined by my friend Alex. Alex and I go a long way back. We played a lot of Magic together, um, and I guess you could say I taught Alex how to play, but
Yep.
then technically he taught me how to play. So I gave him the basics, and then he learnt how to go out and actually be competitive about the game, and transitioned a lot of that back onto me. So we've got a lot to thank him
Yep.
for, and I guess by extension, a lot of you viewers do as well. Um, so today we're going to be doing a Bant Bogles list. Now, this list was um, inspired by a deck I saw online. That's not the deck. Whoops. Okay. Now, the deck I saw online was by Shekel. It went 4-1 in a modern preliminary, so that caught my eye. And obviously, it's Bant colors. Little bit hard to see from here, but there's the deck list down there, and you can see the colors include three. So he's running like 3 Staggering Insights, 2 Spirit Mantles, 4 Daybreak, 2 Spider, 4 Rancor, 4 Ethereal, and 4 Curious Obsession. Non-creature spell or non-aura non-creature spells, 4 Stubborn Denials, and 3 Path, and then he's running 11 creatures. All of which are hexproof, the 3 being the Invisible Stalker. He's running 19 land also. And I have made a little bit of an alteration to his list, but mine was sort of pretty inspired from him, and the land base was almost carbon copy from him as well. In the sideboard, interestingly, he's got 3 Force of Negations. I wasn't quite sure why they weren't in the main, but I'm going to be playing my 2 in the main today. I think the metagame sort of progressed. This was like a week ago, and I think it's progressed a bit differently, and I want to just change things up a little bit there. So the list I'm running, it's, as I said, pretty similar. So our Shocklands, we've got 1 Breeding Pool, 1 Hallowed Fountain, and the 2 Temple Garden there. We've got for our fetch lands 3 Flooded Strands and 4 Windswept Heaths. Then for our Horizon lands, we're just doing 1 Horizon Canopy and 1 Waterlogged Grove. And that's slightly different to the deck list I was copying. They actually had 2 Horizon Canopies and 0 Waterlogged, but I'll get into the reason behind that in a moment. So we're running 1 of each basic, Island, Forest, and Plains, and then 1 Razorverge Thicket and 2 Synchrome Coasts. So, aura-wise, I've changed, and spell-wise, I guess I've changed a little bit. So instead of Spider Umbra, I am running the Hyena Umbras here. I think First Strike is a lot more valuable, personally, to me. And on top of that, I think when you're running things like Curious Obsession, where you need to attack every turn, you're going to want things that enable that. So like Hyena Umbra giving First Strike allows you to attack more readily than something that just gives you 1/1 reach. On top of that, I've removed the 2 Spirit Mantles for 2 Arcane Flights for a similar reason. Just want to get in, make sure Curious Obsession doesn't fall off. Arcane Flight also has the added benefit of being pitchable to Force of Negation, which is really nice. But the downside is if you don't have multiple blue sources, you can't play your flying and hold up Stubborn Denial at the same time. I've also gone down on 1 Staggering Insight because I really don't like having too many 2-drops. This list probably could support 1 more, but I'm getting kind of greedy between my main deck instance and my sideboard slots, so I've just trimmed 1 Staggering there. So we have got the full 4 Path to Exiles here. We have also got 2 Stubborn Denials and the 2 Force of Negations talked about a moment ago. So moving across to the sideboard, we've got the Lurrus as our companion, first and foremost. And then we've got 2 Soul Guide Lanterns to interact with our opponent's graveyards. I've seen less graveyard decks or decks I've wanted to bring in hate cards for, so I've reduced it down from 3 down to 2. We have got the 3rd Stubborn Denial in the sideboard as well. We've got Stony Silence, so this is going to be useful against Tron and the new Belcher combo deck that seems to have come out. I've also got Gadok Teagues here as well, again useful against the Belcher deck and Tron. Lavinia is an interesting one that I've picked up, so Sort of like Pseudo Gadok Teague, but in blue-white. And if your opponent plays a 0 mana spell, you counter it. So that's pretty interesting. Counters things
also
like,
good against Tron.
like your packs. Yeah, good against Tron as well. Or at least when they have the Tron lands out, right? Seal of Primordium, so that's an artifact, an enchantment destroy effect, which is recurable with Lurrus. I have currently got 2 Force of Vigors in the sideboard. We're sort of a little bit narrow for like green targets in the main deck. We've got 12 there. Guess when we bought in our Seal and our Forces, it goes up to 15, which is something. And we've also, of course, got the 4 Leyline of Sanctities in the sideboard for discard decks, so it's pretty exciting to be back on Bant. Hopefully land base works well. I'm not sure if I said the reason why I changed the Horizon lands over. So I did minus a Horizon Canopy from the list for a Waterlog Grove, mostly because I was including more greens, more blue spells in my list. So hopefully that all works out nicely for us, and we can give you guys a good league. So, Alex, what's your favorite thing about playing Bogles?
You know what I used to like? What I really used to like when the deck was still new was how it was really hard to interact with, and no one was looking at it.
Why did you say used to there, Alex?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a, in my opinion, power creep with a lot of cards with multi-functions, several of which say sacrifice creature.
Yep, I definitely tend to agree with you there, and I think a lot of the people watching this video can agree with that. Like
we played this deck back before those were printed. And I remember, I think my second day playing the deck, I sat down against an opponent. I got to like turn 2 or turn 3 of the game. He looked at the deck, looked at the board state, looked up at me and said, "I have nothing to deal with this. Good game."
Ooh,
that was it. The whole match was over.
Okay. So we're into our first match here. And we're up against... I'm not going to pronounce that name for purposes. People, you can go read that now.
Yeah.
So we won the die roll. We don't have any land here, so we're going to mulligan this. Opponent has got Gigantha, which probably means Tron or humans. God, this seems terrible against both those decks. I think we are going to mulligan down to 5 and look for something with a little more oomph than this, because...
Yeah.
Alright, cool, great. This would be great, but we don't have any green mana now. Alright, down to 4.
Yep.
Alright, cool. We have green mana and some good stuff. Alright, let's keep this. We're going to bottom the Force because we mulliganed, Staggering Insight because we can't play it, and Rancor because we already have one. So I guess at least we have a 4-power creature once we empty our hands, so that's kind of nice. Right off the bat, the inconsistencies of 3 colors are kicking us down. Alright, so is it Tron or humans? Oh, is it Neoform?
What?
Birds of Paradise. Alright, so I'm lost. Mishra's Bobble? Oh, God.
Okay.
Let's punish him with a land. No! Alright. So we're sort of behind on resources here. I think we go for the Curious Obsession to make up for it. It's very unlikely, if they're playing Birds of Paradise, that they're going to just chump block, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And the payoff of drawing a land is quite high, right? And if not, maybe we draw...
if he blocks, I think we just win the game.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I don't know what else they're doing, but possibly. Alright, so second main, we drop our Rancor, I suppose. I'm going to go for Temple Garden here. Although maybe that wasn't... No, that was fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, maybe we get Hallowed Fountain, but then we couldn't cast Rancor, because, we're playing 3 colors right here.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand? Alright, so there's some sort of combo
Okay.
deck, I suppose. Don't know what has Gigantha and Misha's Bobble, though. Is it just a Helliod combo deck or Devoted Druid? Glittering Wish. Alright. What are they getting? This is, mighty wide. Ascendancy? Alright.
This is an Ascendancy deck. Nice. I played this when it first came out.
Boy, does this take you back, Alex. Jeez.
Yeah. I made a Merfolk player quit Magic, honestly.
Alright, so here I think we just attack. If we draw Force of Negation, we can hardcast it. We don't really speed up our clock too much with the Arcane Flight. And we did draw Secret Post, so we can hardcast.
Yeah. I mean, Arcane Flight comes down as soon as he's got a way to block, but...
Alright, well, might as well play out this Daybreak Coronet and make my opponent play around something with Arcane Flight here. No 0 mana spells, go away. Oh, man. We're just gonna get comboed here. Sure hope not.
Honestly might.
Serum Visions? Alright. Let's see what they do. If we had the interaction, we would have played it by now. When they tapped out for the Ascendancy, that is. Misha's Bobble to untap the creature. That's funky. I haven't versed an Ascendancy deck in a long time. Alright. They blank, so that's really good. Hopefully we draw Ethereal Armor. Come on, Potato Salad. So here I feel like we cycle our Arcane Flight, our Waterlog Grove, and look for Ethereal Armor for the win.
Yep. Two cards in hand for them, but...
Yeah, they've only got two. I guess we just play our...
With the Ascendancy triggers, it's actually... You kind of want to win.
Yeah, if I play Arcane Flight, though, I only attack them down to 3. And that's not really good enough. I guess I leave this up in case I draw Stubborn Denial off the Curious Obsession. Because it's a 2-turn clock either way.
Yep, I agree with that. If you could get him to 1, then maybe, like, I'd go for it, but 3 is not really worth it.
Well, I might as well not show him anything else. He knows the Stalker, but, you know, leave mana up, right?
Yep. Plus, with a Wish board, if he's got a way to deal with your Glade Cover Scout, you want to be able to recover. So, because Glittering Wish often plays, you know, things they can just get to deal with everything. It's a kind of toolbox sideboard.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you don't want him to just go Glittering Wish into some way to sack and
like
lose
there's
the game straight off of
a
that.
new red-white 3 mana instant or sorcery that deals 3 damage to the board. It's not that new now. It's something that the Niv Reborn deck plays. And that could potentially be a Glittering Wish tutor thing.
Yeah.
My opponent's getting a lot of mana here. Serum Visions.
Yeah.
Haven't been paying attention to the scries. Hopefully he double bottoms here.
Realistically, we're probably dead, but...
Probably. Alright, he topped 1 card with the Visions.
I played this when it had Treasure Cruise in it.
Yeah.
And even then I whiffed on exactly 1 game.
Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time.
Yeah.
Wasn't that something?
Actually, I think I had Git Probe, Taxium Probe as well. So it was, a hell of a deck. Never whiffed.
So yeah, you said you made a Merfolk player quit once. I know he's got like double untap triggers. Yikes, we're so dead.
Yeah, we're pretty dead. Make him play it though. Yeah, I felt a little bad about it, this guy.
Our stuff to hand. Our non-land cards to hand. That's funky.
Yeah.
You know that game's not really all that free against Merfolk, at least not these days. I think it's heavily in our favour, but It's not completely
Yeah.
free because they spreading seas your lands on Bogles. Oh wait, were you talking about that or Ascendancy combo?
No, when I was playing Ascendancy.
Oh, Ascendancy combo, right? Okay.
Yeah,
never
I
mind.
felt bad for him because it was just like he'd come out for one tournament, hadn't played in a while, knew how to play, and he sat down. And it was like, I think it was the finals of just a F&M,
Yeah.
and I just I killed him game 1 and 2 on turn 2, and he just all he did was play land Merfolk go for the entire final round. He did that twice and died. He was just like, "What is it over?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, you can watch and do what we're doing now, and sit here for 10 minutes while I win the game, but yeah, it's over." He never came back, so.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about it from a Bogles perspective. Like, they've got actually a fair few tools against Bogles, particularly now they're in green and play Tropical.
Yeah.
Because, if anyone wants to beat Bogles, there's always that nice back to nature, destroy all enchantments, 2-mana instant.
Yep.
They also play things like Spreading Seas, Chalice of the Void, Brazen Borrow to bounce things. Yeah, they got a lot of interaction. Force of Negation for your heavy hitting spells, so they can do a lot here. So Glittering Wish again from my opponent. I mean, we're just super dead here. Flesh Blood?
Yeah, he'll...
Really?
Yeah, so he'll hit you for 15 and throw a 15, 18 at you.
That's funny. Alright, I'm going to concede this one. As nice as it is...
The thing is, a genuine way to beat this deck is just to let him time out, because he takes so long.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So it's like...
What am I doing? This is my first time playing Magic, Alex. All right.
I mean, it's a kind of crappy way to win, but at the same time, it is a problem with playing those decks.
Yeah.
Oh, and just generally,
actually, even playing that one on paper, there's so many triggers that you can't just fast track it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so interactive stuff to consider.
Yep.
We've obviously got our counterspell suite. We've got an enchantment destroy suite. We've got a removal suite. Now, they do run things like Sylvian Caryatid sometimes, which have hexproof, so Path to Exile loses value. It's also ramping them, which isn't great. Yep. We do know they have Mish's Bobbles, so maybe Lavinia, maybe.
So let's think about this. So,
actually, Soulguide Lantern to get rid of their graveyard as well, potentially.
So we want to pressure him. We want to pressure him quickly. That's our main way to win, and then we want to just because they will win the more time we give them. So keep your deck as fast as possible, and try to put some interruption in. So if you can...
Do you think counterspells are the best form of interruption over the paths? Because their creatures do nothing if there's no Ascendancy.
I mean, if you use Path, you're gambling that they don't use Caryatid, and their main plan is to use Caryatid.
Yeah, right.
So I'd ditch your Paths, and I wouldn't put anything that slows you down in. So I'd go up on your counter spells, and you could play Lavinia, I guess.
Soulguide Lanterns could be redundant, but also they have Noxious Revival.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't gamble on it. I wouldn't go for them.
Would you go Lavinia over Soulguide Lantern, or what are you thinking? Oh, actually, both of them don't.
Yeah, both of them can go, and then I reckon that's pretty good. You've just done an efficiency swap. Halves out for things that can hit the other things.
For a counter spell and some enchantment destroy.
Yeah, that's what I meant by things that can hit other things. Articulate, I know, but...
Cool. I've got you here for an interesting one today, haven't I? Jeez.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
That's interesting, playing against that deck.
Don't forget they've got Gigantha as well. Okay, so this is a reasonable Bogle hand, but...
Yeah,
it's 4 lands, but it's a pretty good, 3 cards.
Yeah.
I think we can keep it.
I think we keep it. Remembering that with I haven't seen this iteration of Ascendancy, but if it is a Wish sideboard, they've probably brought in no cards. They probably just shipped the exact same deck back because they want to be able to use Glittering Wish so they can go get those cards.
Yeah.
So he probably, since he didn't try to disrupt the Bogle in the first game, there's a very good chance he just doesn't have like efficient ways to deal with Bogle.
Yeah. So turn 1, I've gone for Slippery Bogle off the Temple Garden, but I fetched a Temple Garden. So the reasons I'm doing this is because I want to thin my deck as much as possible, but I want to leave myself open in case I draw a blue aura or a white aura, or a green aura, etc. Of course, we've just sort of whiffed a bit there. Let's go ahead and get a breeding pool.
Yeah.
And just empty Rancor Scout. Although if they have explosive, emptying Scout might be bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't play the Scout. I'd have let this enter tapped and then just played your Rancor.
Yeah, I shouldn't even be fetching it yet. Oh well, let's get in for 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I changed my mind halfway through as soon as I remembered explosives as a card. So
Yeah.
it's definitely the sort of
it is the type of thing they might have had.
Play. Sorry.
Yeah. But I was just going to say the same thing. That's the kind of card they might have had.
Yeah.
So.
You ever seen a blue bird before, Alex?
I have. It's not as weird as the Green Mountain Dryad when you've got Blood Moon and Dryad Arbor.
Oh. No, it is not. No, it is not. Don't worry, I've pitched many a Dryad Arbors to Force of Vigor to beat Blood Moon. It's like my favorite thing in the world. Alright, so opponent's holding up Abundant Growth, so this can tap for 1 land of any color. If they're holding up Nature's Claim, it's really bad to just jam the Daybreak here. I think we just do Hyena Umbra and attack.
Yeah, I think that's... It's kind of hard because you want to put them on the quickest clock possible. I feel like there's a good chance of that is being too...
But the other
cautious,
side of it, other side of it though, right, is engineered explosives, and resolving Hyena Umbra is a good thing anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like the downside is definitely go for it. The downside of it is just so huge if we're wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so
like we're drawing land aura, but we're drawing creature aura, but we drew the aura in the wrong state, like. At the wrong time. Like, we preferred to have drawn the aura last turn, so we could have attacked for 4 last turn, and then played Daybreak this turn. Wait, did they just sack the land Abundant Growth was on? That seems odd.
They must have used it just to cycle. So they're desperately trying to draw, would be my guess.
Looks like an Ascendancy.
They're looking...
There's the explosion.
There we go. Yep.
Oh, man. Another good one for last turn. Alright, we're going to have a pretty good next turn, though.
Yep. So he'll obviously crack it here.
End step crack it.
That's...
Alright, let's put Lurus... Oh, wait a minute. Let's shock the Temple Garden. Pretend we have some sort of counterspell, and then we'll put Lurus into hand. Because of the new companion nerf.
Yeah. I mean, that was something I should have seen coming.
That's something they should never have done. They should have just banned engineered explosives in Misha's Bobble. Because really, like, the other companions weren't that broken.
Yeah, I mean...
It was just Lurus everywhere, and that's because they got to draw cards off Misha's Bobble all the time.
So I think you... This is kind of awkward.
What do you reckon? Jam the... If I jam Daybreak, I can't...
So, like, he should have In my opinion, cracked engineered explosives. I think he had the mana to do it last turn.
Do I just attack and then play Lurrus?
It's annoying me that we can't lethal him, but we can get him one off, which means he can't crack Flooded Strand. So I'd drop a Curious Obsession.
Alright.
That means, like, you're forcing him to do it. Otherwise, you're giving him...
Yeah, I guess we could probably just kill him next turn.
Because, at this point, he has to play the Engineered Explosives, or he can't crack anything.
But if we play Lurrus, it's already got 3 power, and then we get Rancor back. We can rebuy something from the grave.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going for Chump Block
go.
line?
That's surprising.
Alright. Come on, draw force.
But, like, you want something to happen, otherwise because he's obviously just stalling for time, right?
Why wouldn't he bounce the Hyena Umbra? That seems odd. Or is he going to bounce it post-combat? I think I play Lurrus.
Yep. Yeah. I would. Now, the thing you do have to be careful if he's just big braining us massively, which I don't think he is if you go to replay that Rancor, then he can crack the Engineered Explosives in response, and you don't get Rancor back.
If I play it on the Bogle, I could play it on Lurrus.
Yes, that's what I mean. But just for any of your viewers out there, it is possible to make Rancor go to a graveyard and stay there. Because it has to hit the battlefield to get the trigger. Jeez.
Ascendancy land. Oh, they're going to put themselves to 1 here.
Yeah, that's why I liked the last play. Like the attempt to take him to 5.
Underworld Breach, so they get to play stuff from their grave with Escape, I think it is.
Yep. I mean,
So
this
they
is
get
kind of it. He wins.
Sleight of Hand and a Cerulean Wisp that, like, do stuff. Alright, well. He's probably got us on no force of negation at the moment, so I'm just going to skip it through.
Yep. I mean...
Bouncing is explosives? Oh, it's a 0-mana
he's not
spell?
going to crack it now.
Right, yeah.
So... I guess he figured he couldn't win without his bird. So he probably played explosives and then on 1, and then thought it was a mistake because he was probably short on mana.
Yeah, I guess so.
So...
Damn, I wish I
But at
had
the same-
played an extra aura now. Although we couldn't because we only had 1 blue mana. I could have fetched better, and
Yep.
instead of getting basic planes, I could have got Helliod Fountain. And I wouldn't have shut myself off double blue that way, but... Yeah, I think I fetched...
I mean, at
slightly
the same time,
incorrectly,
like, without the repeal, he would be dead now. So, I don't think it was too bad.
So having seen Underworld Breach, do you see more value potentially in boarding in Graveyard Hate?
Yes, particularly like with the Fate Stitcher as well.
Well,
But,
we knew about Fate Stitcher, and it's like it's always been in the deck.
but it wasn't enough just on the Fate Stitcher. There's definitely, if we don't lose,
Opponent's genning a lot of
more
mana.
value in. Yeah,
Escape cost.
he's obviously going for.
He's got to exile
He's-
3 cards to do an escape cost from the graveyard, though.
Yeah, he's in desperation mode. If whether he gets there or not is.
But like his creatures are getting big. Don't get me wrong. Big scary creatures. We can jump block with Lurrus if we need be.
Yeah.
He's got double Ascendancy, so he gets 2 lots of triggers every spell as well. I'm just surprised at how many spells he's chaining here with so little. Like, holy crap. Calm down, mate.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Glittering Wish
version
now.
Yeah. The version I played was slightly different, but all you needed was Ascendancy, 1 mana. So...
I didn't
I think
expect
he's
to
got you.
kill Silence.
neither did I.
Oh, you're getting me here, opponent, with your silence. I've been holding on to this force this whole time. Teferi bounce Lurrus. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, yeah, we kept a 7. It was a pretty shaky 7 though. We only had three relevant cards. Drew kind of awkwardly. We drew well by the end of it, but we drew kind of awkwardly at the start. So now they just attack us for 20 and win. All right. Okie dokie. Man, lame.
I feel like we got a little unlucky on that one. But...
Time to split the deck a little bit more. We'll go 1 Lavinia, 1 Gadok Tig, and 1 Damping Sphere. And that Damping Sphere can come in for the 1 in 500 games where you play Ascendancy combo.
It's a good card.
It is. Alright, so Match Joe wanting the die roll up against Pneumatic. Get our little Lurus friend happening here. Alright, we got a Bogle with a Hyena Umbra and stuff, and looks like a keep to me.
Yeah, seems like a hand.
Alright, well, I guess we let it slip about the blue, or do I just take the extra damage off Horizon Canopy?
I think
I just take the extra damage for now.
I think you just take the extra damage, yeah.
Ponza is like some amount of like the metagame.
Yeah.
Alright. It's Mill. Mill's actually in the deck now. Sweet. Alright, well.
Yeah, I do kind of hate that.
Curious Obsession's not amazing. But I think we do it because obviously it helps them, but it also helps us.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll get the Helliod Fountain. Go Curious Obsession. The question is, do I want to path my opponent here in their like upkeep or draw step instead of doing Hyena Umbra? Because I can empty my hand next turn anyway.
Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah,
I think you just hold up the path.
Because a fetch land is worth like 6 cards to our grave. So
yeah.
Well, that's a pretty sweet draw.
Yep.
Better lucky than good. Right. Hopefully no Spell Pierce making its way into the Mill main deck. They're running like 2 main deck Ashiok now. The 3 mana Ashiok that mills 4 and then exiles your opponent's graveyard. Right,
Yep.
well there's another crab. So and we avoided three lands, so that's good.
Double
wait, no.
hurts.
So yeah. So they would have got double stacks from the Flooded Strand here.
Yeah.
Opposed to just 1 lot here. Well, we have a pretty good clock as well. Alright.
Yep.
I'm yielding through, opponent. Do your worst. Oh, they're seeing all our glory in our graveyard now. Starving to know. Curious Obsession. Oh, God.
And Coronet, yep.
I don't have to be scared of any main deck Wrath effects, or I shouldn't have to be. Attack for 8, put them to 9. Next turn we kill with Hyena Umbra, so...
Yeah.
Oh, Invisible Stalker. You can't chump block that. Cling to Dust. Oh. Oh no, the Staggering Insight we were never going to get back. He didn't even gain life. Wouldn't he be better off going for a land and gaining 3 life?
I mean, he doesn't know our hand, so I can understand, but...
Alright, let's get green in case we need Rancor. Our opponent can now Archive Trap us as well, because they made us search with the field OP. Alright, there's the Archive Trap. We have got 22 cards left in the library. Oh, baby. Alright, let's throw down lethal. Attack.
Yep.
And then we can hold up Path for next turn, which is pretty sweet. Oh, he's already chump blocking. We got him on the ropes. Alright, play the second scout to go wide. In case he plays another chump blocker. Alright, so now Force is live. And, you know, we can just force whatever relevant card they play that is a non-creature. Alright, they concede.
Yep.
Sweet.
Nice.
Alright, so... Path is like sort of medium here. It's like good against half their deck, but not the other half of their deck. We want Leyline, obviously.
Yep.
Force/Seal of Primordium are important to some numbers because they do bring in Ensnaring Bridge. They also have Mesmeric Orb.
Yep.
We can potentially bring in Soulguard Lantern to exile a relevant target from our graveyard. No, it doesn't work that way. That'd be Relic.
No.
But if they do like a Surgical Extraction to strip everything out of my deck, but that doesn't work that way. Gadok Teague stops Archive Trap. Lavinia stops Archive Trap.
Yeah, I don't love being that reactive though.
Yeah.
They do have us on the clock.
So. Actually, Stony Silence might be smart as well for engineered explosives potentially. It might be an overboard, maybe because we're up
but I feel that's an overboard. You don't want to board it before you see it. If they get you with that, they get you. But
all right, so I'd say Staggering Insight's probably among the weaker auras. We're at 68 cards here, so we need to take a decent amount out.
In decks that aren't Bogles, there is actually an argument against Mill for just overboarding.
Yeah,
and
well,
keeping things
true.
in. I mean, I don't like it in Bogles because you require the higher density. So
I kind of like Daybreak Coronet, but it's also like situational and it resolving. Like, because Daybreak Coronet is a value aura that adds multiple power, but if we're in an aura light hand, like the life gain side's not relevant, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Keep in like 2 path. Take out 2.
I'm thinking.
Bring in like 1 force, 1 seal. That's 7 cards there.
Yeah, I mean, you could just run that.
And I could potentially trim a Stalker. Or just run a 61 or 2 card deck or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think just go with this for now.
Alright. I found it's like super awkward sideboarding when you want counterspells and Leyline and Path. Because then you just go down. This looks like a good hand to me. We're going to keep. Yep. Obviously, Leyline's like awesome against them. We don't have green mana for the Rancor or Seal, but like we can draw into that.
Yep.
At least we can play our Bogle out and hold up a Stubborn Denial on a Force Pike.
Yep.
Oh, well, he can't target us, can he?
It's each opponent.
Oh, no, this one's each opponent.
So we can.
Oh, no.
Yep.
That's the wrong crab. They got a new crab. The O2 crab's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, no. He's doing it. He's doing the mill. Oh, our green mana. No.
That's actually not good for us.
Losing the island's not too bad, but losing the green mana's not too good. That one was Scout, Rancor, Leyline, so that wasn't actually too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, we milled a Force to that trigger? Go away. Okay.
Well.
Get in for that juicy 1 point of chump block damage.
They could always forget to jump block. It does happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard on Moto when it literally prompts you, but could happen. Ah, yes. We're winning the mill race here. Our opponent just milled 2 to themselves. Yeah, so they're running this Stern Dismal, or Dismal, or however you say it. Return target creature or enchantment an opponent controls to its owner's hand, so they can bounce out auras. Thassa's Oracle. Okay, I haven't seen that one. In
They're going to self-mill.
I mean, I guess if there's Leyline and they have the other crab and they're forced to self-mill, then Thassa's Oracle's a win con. So it makes sense.
This is a line.
I think they sideboarded it in, would be my guess.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, no, we don't have Luris this game either, because Leyline's disabled it. Alright, well, Temple Garden's a pretty good draw. I'm shock it in. Do you reckon go for a Rancor here? Actually, if I go for I can go Rancor plus Daybreak attack. That leaves me exposed to Stern Dismal. Dismissal.
Yeah.
Or I could do Seal, Destroy, Orb after my opponent mills a couple, and just not attack.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of awkward. I think. How much do we?
Or just do Rancor, don't attack, and then.
38. Yeah, you could do. I think if you're gonna do it, you may as well just go for it. Rancor Daybreak. The thing is, I am actually worried about their clock.
I'm not.
So, I guess
like they could bounce Leyline to hand, and then like we're sort of safe after that point. I think we just do Seal. If we draw another land, we can do Rancor Stubborn, Rancor Daybreak, hold up Stubborn Denial, and then we'll be in a much better spot from there. I just don't want the blowout, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, so Darkslick Shores from my opponent. Oh, my opponent's also milled my 1 Force of Vigor, so for ensnaring bridge purposes, this Seal is my last instance of interaction. And to make matters worse... Oh, Curious Obsession's not bad. To make matters worse, I don't have Luris to bring it back, potentially. So we definitely Curious Rancor attack, so that takes us up to 4 power. Enabling the Stubborn Denial.
That was a good draw.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent draw. If it wasn't land, like Curious is pretty sweet there.
Yep.
And, you know, it's an awkward toughness where they can't really block it. Oh, sweet. We still get that 1 point of damage across. Get the card draw.
There goes my secret plan, though. I was really hoping them to self-mill, banking on the Thassa's Oracle, and then us draw into Path of Exile, and then Path with Stubborn.
It doesn't work, it's an ETB.
In response to it.
It's an ETB that stays on the stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I'd have a better game against Ad Nauseam if it did work that way, man, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, we draw Force as well. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But we can't Force and Stubborn at the moment. I guess we can Stubborn now and hold up Force for a future turn.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, Stubborn during our opponent's turn or whenever.
It's alright. We've got a good clock running.
Yeah, we've got ourselves in a good spot now. They're running out of land to try and mill us. They've only got 3 cards in hand though. Like
yeah.
They
this
must
is pretty good.
Have very
I'm not
much.
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure he was right to sacrifice his Thassa's Oracle. With the ley line out, it feels like that was his kind of best way to win.
So we lost Rancor, Arcane Flight then. We draw Waterlogged Grove. So play Waterlogged Grove, play Daybreak Coronet, attack.
Yep, that's a line.
Alright, and we're finally getting in for some decent damage. Visions? Well, that's sort of awkward. I feel like I want to counter the important spell, though, not the draw 3. I've got exactly 20 cards in my graveyard as well. Oh, he's chained Visions. Oh, man. Now he's got a Fistful.
Yeah.
Alright, we're still just chilling, though. That's fine. Draw blue. Draw blue. Yes. Alright, we'll leave that in hand for Force of Negation. That was pretty sweet. I'll take it.
Yep.
What are you casting? Is that more crabs? So Hedron Crab, I think, only targets an opponent. Target player mills 3 cards, so they can target themselves or target us. So they got another Rune Crab. That's sort of sucky. 3 Rune Crabs? Alright, calm down, opponent.
Yeah, this is why I was worried about their clock a little bit, because I know it accelerates real quick.
But also, they're only on 11 and we have Trample.
Yeah.
These Rune Crabs, my man.
Yep.
Holy moly.
Yep.
And they're going to do another 9 cards here.
He's targeting it.
Can I fizzle it by cycling it? It feels like it's worth a shot.
Yeah. Pretty sure you can. Been a while since I read that card, but I'm pretty sure that does it.
Sweet, no legal targets. We're not searching. Bargain.
Yep.
Take that, opponent. Way to target the wrong land.
You see it all the time, though. Yeah.
We drew Rancor as well, which is really sweet. We do have almost lethal now. Oh, is that lethal? Exact.
That should be exactly lethal. Even through his crab, I think.
No, he's got 3 crabs now.
No.
But he has to start chump blocking,
okay.
and then they'll do
He has to start jumping them, so.
I might also turn off my yields for these Curious Obsessions and just say no, because I might want to stop drawing cards at this point.
Yep.
So he's jumping with 1, which is, I guess, completely
That's correct
understandable.
move. Yeah.
And I'm just going to say no to both these triggers.
Yeah.
If I need 2 spells, that's going to suck. But, like, I guess if I kept better track of how many blue cards were left in my deck, I could make an informed decision as to whether or not I want to draw 1 to try and have a blue card to pitch to force. It's a fetch land. Are you kidding me, man?
I think you're pretty close. Ooh. I was gonna say, you're pretty close to 50% blue at this point, I think.
Has he got us to exactly 0?
I think so. Can you crack the seal to stop with you?
No, I would have needed to do that
Mills,
during his turn, but the mill doesn't kill us,
Yeah.
the card draw kills us.
Yeah, it'll be the card draw on you.
Damn.
I thought it was.
Should have kept in that 1 invisible stalker, Alex. Alright, so I think I want to sideboard Luris in.
Yep.
Or do you think that's a bit much?
Let's see. How do we deal with him? I tell you what, your counterspells did not feel great that game.
No, but he also kept a creature hand, and there's going to be games where he's going to have a spell hand, so it's just which half of his deck he draws.
Yeah. But we might not need 5 of them.
Maybe not. So I guess if I lay out all the potentials here.
Yeah.
What else was annoying then that I thought Lavinia might do something for Galactig? Nothing? No.
Yeah, no, it was,
Nothing, that's fine.
They were only for the arcane trap.
Honestly, we could just run 64, or we could cut the 2 stalkers and run a 61.
If you go in for above, I feel like you kind of want the stalkers, because otherwise your creature count's so low. Yeah.
Well, 4-path is probably too much. So 3.
Yeah, you could trim it.
And then we could
3.
trim a stubborn denial and have 4 counters, and then maybe trim a seal and then just run 62. And it's on the draw, so hopefully that's fine. All right.
Yep, I'd go with that. Let's give it a go. I mean, the main thing to do with this deck is just put them on a clock.
That does not put them on a clock. I don't like it.
Nope.
Sweet.
Yep.
Keep
That's
this
all right.
one bottom Bogle, because if it's a blue card to draw a force. Oh, actually, bottom scout. I forgot I had 2 there.
Yeah.
I didn't see the one on the right. Okay. So, effect shot into Temple Garden, play scout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lurrus is sweet to have in my opening hand.
Yeah.
You had some interesting decks this league, Alex.
Yeah.
But what is this jank?
That's only a weird one. I thought I played jank.
You do. Alright, play the Razor Edge Thicket while I can, while it comes into play untapped. I don't have a blue counterspell, and even if I do, I'm just representing Stubborn Null at best Spell Pierce. And I can't follow through with it, so whatever. Alright, here comes the Rune Crab. Like, man, that extra path is looking pretty good right now. He's making us mill 6 here.
Yeah.
2 triggers.
I mean, you just wheel Lurrus next turn. Kind of regardless of draws,
Yeah,
right?
and then we can get Ethereal Armor back as well, which is sweet.
Yep. If I knew you were facing this type of thing, you could have just put one
Emrakul?
Emrakul, yeah.
I know how you like your Emrakul, Alex. Alright, so Leyline's pretty nice.
Yep.
We can potentially cast that for 4 mana at some point. It won't stop the Rune Crab, but it will stop the Hedron Crab and other stuff he does. But also he can bounce it for 1 mana, so maybe we'll hold on to that till later, till we have protection. I don't know why my opponent's put a stop on my draw step. Is he surgicaling something or getting rid of Curious Obsession?
There we go.
Alright, you got me, opponent.
Yep.
Now he knows that he can go for like a Slippery Bogle though, and knows my entire list. Although he got a pretty good idea of what my list was from games 1 and 2, let's be honest.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe jam the attack first.
He literally did that in my draw step and knew everything in my hand. And in fact, it's worse to attack here because he's just going to chump block and he could play Mesmeric Orb and then I'm milling 1 extra card. So I'm just going to sit back.
Fair enough.
Next level plays, Alex. That 1%er. Alright, so it's just a Temple Garden. It's not a... it's not a fetch land, so we only lose 6 there. That's an annoying one. That's an enchantment where each end step the player mills however many they've already milled. Ethereal Armor.
Yep.
Hey, we got Stubby D live now, though. Don't mind that.
Yep.
And we can attack for 8. I might consider putting it on, like, Lurrus, but, like, they can bounce it, so... hardly seems worth the tempo.
just keep going for the scout.
So opponent's 4 cards in hand now. We've got 31 cards left in our library. Of course, they draw another bloody crab. Hopefully they're out of lands. Another crab? Holy crap. Bring on the hurt, man. Bring on the hurt.
Yep.
This fraying sanity as well.
Yeah.
It's going to make me mill that number again. I think I just lose.
I think you do.
I've got 7 cards left in my library and I've just milled like 1 million cards. Take that, opponent. It's a shame Seal of Primordium wasn't in my graveyard and I couldn't return that. Oh wait, did I miss an
Yeah.
aura last turn?
No, Ethereal Armor.
Didn't I play Ethereal Armor from hand?
No, from Graveyard.
That wasn't that the turn early. No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay, I drew Stubborn Denial. Never mind. Well, I'm gonna mill 12 cards there and die to upkeep. Sweet. Oh man, I'm like one attack away from killing him too. This stupid enchantment.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, because it's enchanting me. When I die, it goes to the graveyard. All right, that was weird. Well,
face that deck
fucking
a lot?
losers bracket, man. Here we go.
Yeah. Do you face that deck often?
That's my second time versing it.
Okay.
All right, losing the die roll here. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's very beatable with a couple of cards. There was a Avacyn restored block, like Innistrad block, sorry, card that is blue and flashes back for one. I think it's blue and 1 and flashes back for 1 green, where you can put 3 cards from your graveyard on top of your library. So if they've already used their interaction and don't expect it, you can always just, untap.
Yeah.
Pay it. I think it's instant speed as well. So pay it for green mana.
So Alex, I've got
Play a turn.
I'm on the draw. I've
Yep.
mulled to 6 and so has my opponent. He's chosen to keep
Yep.
6. This is my 6-card hand. I think I keep it and bottom Stalker, although I need to find white mana. Obviously, if it's a shadow deck, the Path to Exiles are very good.
Yep.
I guess we
Yeah, you
lose
can definitely
to
roll.
double discard, but
Yep.
planes? What jank is this?
That's a loser's bracket for you.
Oh, man. I hate it so much.
I don't think we've made any significant mistakes either. This has been pretty on rails.
Yeah, maybe some sideboarding stuff.
Oh, this one.
Stoneblade?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's probably been some sideboarding and like keeping mistakes.
So,
But like,
jam Saggering Insight off
yeah.
a
Yeah, I
land
think so.
and attack.
Yep.
I think I get the Hallowed Fountain.
What did they search for, by the way?
Batterskull. I can pass the gem token, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, Stubborn Denial might come in handy. I've drawn my
There's actually
2
an argument
blue-green
there
lands
for
in
us
the
just
deck. Sorry, attack?
maybe a battle. Yeah, attack. Maybe a better line. Last turn was just a half the Stoneforge and play Hyena Umbra.
Yeah, I would have done it during my turn, though, or else I'd, like, upkeep, or in response to the path.
No, they were tapped out.
Yeah, I'd have to do it
the
during
next
my
player.
turn, and they'd untap for turn 3 with 3 mana and play their 4th. And then they're 1
Yeah.
mana off casting Batterskull anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one. I think I shock in the Breeding Pool, hold up for Stubborn Denial, and potentially cycle my Waterlog Grove and whatever else.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I've got another path for next turn, so that's pretty nice. If need be.
Oh, lovely.
Stubborn Denial.
Yeah.
Shrug. Alright, we're doing it. Oh, they're getting in for one. Yes. Alright.
Yeah, at least we're remembering to do that. The number of opponents I've played who just like they have a plan in their head, and it's just like doesn't involve attacking with their like 1/2 Stoneforge Mystic, so they forget to do it. It's just not a line they've.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. So I'm gonna fetch shock, attack for 3, draw a card, and then probably pass unless I draw something fantastic. I can just play that next turn. I can hold up Force of Negation on Hardcast.
Yep, seems good to me.
What you gonna do, opponent? What you gonna do? Alright. Rancor seems like a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess I just play Curious Obsession. I can pitch to Force anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. If he wants to cast a spell during my turn, I've now left myself exposed, but I'm also drawing 2 cards this way. And disabling his chump block route. And he can't like chump block path or anything either. Returning that to his hand? Oh, opponent, I'm so sorry. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I thought I had something bigger going on for a second there.
No, apparently not.
Oh.
What are we drawing? Land and Curious Obsession? Sweet. So... play land and I can hardcast Force again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they're just putting it onto the battlefield with the Stoneforge.
Yep.
I mean, it's a white deck.
I don't think he...
Apostle's Blessing is the only reason to not path now, or to path now, although I could path plus hold up Force. I guess I'll just path now.
Yeah, they're tapped out.
Yeah, but like if I pass to their turn, like I don't think they're doing anything with like the free mana. They seem pretty heavy on just the Stoneblade plan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have gone through that a little bit too quickly. Because we had options like Force, waiting for them to attempt to block with a token, then rancoring the tokens.
Oh wait, now they're just equipping. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
That's what I was thinking, you know. I think I would have much preferred the hold up half.
All right, let's search.
Do you want to search draw?
Yeah. I mean, the draw's sort of redundant, but yeah, I want to do it any... Okay, we win. We've drawn enough cards that we finally hit our Daybreak.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of much prefer that we hit like flying as well. Honestly, he's got a lifelink vigilance blocker.
We've got trample first strike. It's fine.
Yeah, I know.
So I can play Windswept Heath, crack it, getting a land, and tap myself out to play both Curious Obsession and Daybreak. Or I can just play both without tapping myself up and maybe draw a Stubborn Denial and hold that up, or a Path. So I think I just go Daybreak, Curious, and don't worry about this fetch land. I think the fetch land...
I mean, they're tapped out, so... And you can't search for the fetch
I'd have to pay 2. I could afford to do it if I did it pre-casting Daybreak.
Yeah, but I don't think it's worth it.
Alright, we put our opponent to 2, and they can't really attack us here. What have they got? Sort of Fire and Ice? I mean, counter? Getting there. Alright, take that mono white Hatebears.
Yeah, I mean, that was good apart from the speeding through.
Yeah, apart from that path,
that.
that path was sloppy.
Yeah.
Alright, so mono white Hatebears. I mean, we've got our paths in there which were kind of okay. I feel like they can just be replaced by artifact destruction though.
I mean, Stony Silence.
Yeah.
They have, like, equipping is an activated ability.
Correct, yeah.
So,
I feel like I bring in the Stubborn Denial to help play around things like a Blessed Alliance or Settle the Wreckage. If they're on mono white, they're likely to have like sort of weird cards like that in their sideboard, right?
yeah.
So I don't think I want Path, or like maybe one of, maybe two of.
Path does deal with Gideon. He's indestructible otherwise. So I don't hate having some paths, but
I guess Stubborn Denial is not that good. Or maybe I take out the Force.
yeah, and
Because
then maybe
Stubborn
lose
Denial is easy to attack with and cast during my attacking step, which is when they'd be cast in the Blessed Alliance anyway. And then
you can just cut one path. Or like one Force.
Maybe take out a Stalker.
Oh yeah. Going down on a Stalker's not too bad.
It's less bad now that we're taking out Force as well. Like,
I just realised what I said, but
I didn't hear what you said. I was sort of focusing.
yeah, all good. I'm sure someone will point that one out.
I watched the recording. What's the timestamp? 1 hour 7 minutes. Well, I was really happy with the way all of our cards lined up into all of our opponent's cards that game. That worked like absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good deck, Stoneblade, but I feel we match up pretty well into it. The only problem, of course, being that like white is where a lot of the sacrifice hate cards have been printed recently. So
yeah, well, like
it used to just be black.
It could also be like mono white Stoneblade and Taxes. Like we saw the lead in Arbiter, they could easily have Thought Knot Seers, and things like that. And Flicker Wisp and Eldrazi Displacer and Blade Splicer and
so they could mostly be playing Eldrazi, which is a shitty matchup.
Yeah, not great. I didn't see any Eldrazi lands, so I don't think they're Eldrazi, but like mono white Taxes is still going to have Flicker Wisp. It still might have Eldrazi Displacer as well. And if they can instant speed a Displacer, I guess they've got Aether Vial too. Because lead and Arbiter is a dead giveaway, right?
Yeah.
Opponents deciding on their hand. This has taken a little while.
Well, hopefully that does mean that they don't just have an on-rails way to beat you. You know?
Hopefully.
Because if all they have to do is take out like 2 average cards and put in some sacrifice effects, then it wouldn't take them very long at all. So.
I mean, yeah, fortunately, we do have some sort of interaction for all that, but, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that is one of the things with a blue deck.
Yeah.
So,
I wish
one of the things we always said about Bogles playing the green-white version was that it'd be really good if it had a way to, like, counter specific things.
Well, what I think would be really
Now
sweet is if we got, like, a Curse Catcher on an Aura, or if we got a, like, Mausoleum Wanderer on an Aura where you can sack equal to your power and counter it. Or, like,
a stifle effect for like 2 mana or something. Just like something where we can tap out and still interact with our opponents. And like it can be detrimental to the board, like we have to sack an aura sort of thing. But like we just need to be able to tap out and interact, and we can't interact. And the problem is our opponents are getting better at interacting with us, and we're not getting any better at interacting with them. We're getting worse. Like, because they've got blast
or at least
zones,
we've sacrificed consistency and speed to do so.
They've got Eldrazi Temple to play like a cheaper All Is Dust, like Khan the Great Creator, Ugin, Liliana, Smallpox, like Oath of Kaya or Kaya's Gale. I think it's Kaya's Gale. 3 mana Orzhov instant, which makes each opponent sack a creature. Like, why is that not targeting?
Yeah.
And it's got like 4 really good modes, and it does 2 modes for them when they cast it.
Well, that modality thing is a huge part of the problem. It used to be that if you wanted to beat Bogles, you could. All you had to do was put sideboard. Like, dedicate some real estate in your sideboard to dedicated hate cards. Same as beating, any of the, like, heavily graveyard-based decks, or any of the, Affinity, before they removed that deck. Still not better, promise.
Yeah, so like, you can beat it, but the problem is, like, main deckable cards that are good against the rest of the metagame just absolutely wreck us now, and...
It's like, here's a random counter spell, but also makes you, like, you sacrifice a creature, like, and/or.
Yeah.
Or here's, destroy an artifact and sacrifice a creature,
Or they return a bloody Death Shadow from the graveyard to the battlefield, and you're just like, cool.
Yeah.
Our opponent's, like, clearly DC'd here. I wonder if he's just gone to the bathroom, or if he's... like, just rage. This is 5 minutes. I might pause the video. We can still talk shit, though.
Yep. Have you seen those Walking Dead cards? I'm assuming they're not a joke.
I think they're a joke. I think someone's just made it in their spare time. So yeah, our opponent disconnected, and we won the game due to them being disconnected. Well, I saw the grunt from Mythbusters, and I saw... because Jess posted some on, like, one of the pages on Facebook today.
That wasn't from Mythbusters. That was the guy from Walking Dead.
Yeah, she posted that one afterwards, or maybe someone else posted the grunt one, and then she posted the Walking Dead one. Looks like my opponent... what is going on here? Well, we got no creature here. My opponent won the die roll. They've mulliganed to 6. Crazy clicker. Don't recognize that person. Alright, we're mulliganing to 5 now. No creature, and then no creature or land.
Yep. I mean, this is why I was saying slightly less consistency, because,
Well, I'm running 1 less creature, right? And the first hand I didn't mull because I didn't have the right mana or auras or whatever.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, going up to 3 mana and
so opponent's kept 6. Look, this looks like a good hand to me. I'm gonna keep it.
Yep.
Honestly, dude, I'm pretty tempted to bottom this forest. And if I'm against the Thoughtseize deck, I'm gonna get super punished by bottoming one of my creatures. So I might just bottom the Hyena Umbra here.
Yep, I mean, there's ways to punish. Since this is game 1, you can get punished by
I might just bottom Daybreak.
No information.
That can't be right.
Nah. I mean, it's kind of between Umbra or Glade Cover, right? So, or Boggle.
Might just take the Rancor. I know it tramples damage, but, like, I might be up against someone that just puts up a chump blocker, and then I just can't attack through. Which is... Or, like, the Totem Armor might be relevant. Green. Forest, Arbor Elf. Alright, Ponza. Great. Well, Ethereal Armor's not bad draw. We'll go Scout. I wish I had that Forest now. It's all the way on the bottom of our library. No fetch effects. No shuffle.
That's alright. No use for
Oh.
green mana yet, so.
This isn't Ponza at all. They're running white. Captain Ranger of Eos, please don't sack it. What are you getting? Is this a Shadow deck or is this Walking Ballista Helliod combo?
Probably.
Walking Ballista, alright, it's a Helliod
It's a
combo
Helliod
deck.
combo.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we have an absolutely atrocious matchup against them. Play my Ethereal Armor and cry? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we need a land. No other way to say it. We need a land. We kind of needed a land that turn. I don't think we can.
Well, the
accelerate
Cyclone
fast
Canopy,
enough to
which
deal
is nice, but yeah, obviously not curving out and missing an attack isn't good for us.
Yeah.
Helliod? Or Ballista on 1? What are you doing, opponent? Tell me your secrets! Oh, Oriok Champion? I guess that's a burn meta thing.
Could be a combo piece.
So... we're still in a position where we can attack.
Yeah.
Because Heliod's 2 mana. To activate the lifelink on Helliod is... Although they get life on this. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I should have held up path. Well, they could just play Helliod, Walking Ballista on 1, and then we're dead.
I reckon that's what's going to happen. The thing is, I feel like that situation was one, given what we've drawn and where we mulled to.
Yeah,
that,
if we drew land on our second draw,
yeah,
we could have played double aura, and then we could have played like Ethereal Armor hold up path this turn, and then been sweet.
Yeah, I feel like you needed Varangle down bow because
no Walking
like
Ballista.
sweet.
Okay, I'm
Because
cool
like
with
you're not winning if you don't do something. You know?
So here I feel like we just attack. They'll chump block with Helliod, hopefully just Helliod, and then we can path in response and trample over.
Yeah, yeah. That was a huge misplay from them.
Yeah, I mean I feel like I telegraphed it pretty well.
Wait, what happened?
Ranger of Eos.
Oh, they sacked their Captain Ranger of Eos, and then it no longer was a creature. Right.
Yep.
Alright, never mind. I guess they had the outplay. Now they can just Ballista on 1, but they can't active yet. Oh, gain life. Alright, they can active. Never mind. They just shoot us in face for 1,000,000 damage there. Good times.
Yep.
Alright. I hate this deck so much. This is like my least favorite deck in the history of all decks ever.
Yeah, I saw it when it was spoiled. It's just...
Ooh,
Yeah.
Stony Suns.
I just don't understand what...
What sort of person would want to play it?
No, it's not that. I don't understand how it gets made. And yet, things like Affinity are banned.
Well, that's because they just wanted to print things like Urza into Modern, and then, or like, make, what was that combo artifact deck with the 4 mana artifact? That just, like, basically was eggs, and they just sat there comboing off and drawing cards and getting mana and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheerios.
No, not Cheerios. That's a different one again.
I don't know.
When we went to the GP, it was still live, man.
Alright.
Do we want Stubborn Denial? I don't think so. They can have Eldorami's Call, which is the green-white instant to search for a creature. And they'll probably be running that, but I imagine we're going to be looking to get that with Force instead.
I mean, they can't... Uh, so they're really just straight up combo.
We have to be concerned about Spellskite as well, but Sony Silence is good for that.
Yeah.
Maybe the Forces, to be honest. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
overboarding, though. Because, yeah, that's probably overboarding. Or at least two's overboarding, maybe one isn't. And then, like, Trim a Stalker or Staggering Insight.
Yeah, do that.
I love Jank. I really don't. Jank tends to be good against me. Oh, what a great hand.
I don't know. Just,
This league, man, like, I'm not even doing anything that ridiculous with the deck. Alright,
no, this is just,
Bottom land?
I mean, I feel like you just bottom path and keep the hand Rancor into Daybreak and just hope that you get there. Like, they're fast and non-interactive and a terrible matchup for you already.
Alright, I don't like it. I think I'd probably bottom the land personally, but I'm going to go with what you said, because no matter what variant of this deck play, I can't beat my opponent's deck, so
yeah.
I'll assume what you're saying is probably more accurate.
I mean, the way I see it is this is an absolute horrible matchup. You need everything to go right.
Yeah.
And everything for them to go wrong.
But, like, everything to go right is, like, if I draw land this turn, then I already have the path and already have the auras and,
Yeah, I think I personally, I value the, the clock a little higher,
Alright, well, we're getting rewarded from your line here. Let's get the blue, scare our opponent with our fantastic white and blue spells and all of that shit.
Maybe it's just my holdover from playing green-white Bogles, but, this was my line to win, was always just, if they're playing any kind of combo deck, I was just trying to be quicker.
Yeah, but, like, the problem is you can't be quicker these days.
Yeah.
We've versed, like, 3 combo decks in this league. This is shit. Like, his Mill's a combo deck, let's be real.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Just play it and go.
Alright, our opponent's on 7, and we can fly through the air next turn.
Yeah, so this is it. Like, now you've put them to a decision where they've got it or they don't.
I don't think they can defeat us in any case. Collected Company, or maybe. Collected Company's pretty good.
They have to,
not
pretty much have the nuts to beat this line, so...
Well, they're not just jamming things onto the board. Spike Feeder, oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Now they just infinite life. That's this shit deck. Yep. That is what they've printed in, is like a Spike Feeder win condition. Because when they gain a life, they put a counter on a creature. So they'll gain life by sacking this.
Yep.
And then they'll constantly put the counter across. And it comes in on 2 counters. Like, this is so dumb. Like, winning by life gain is not fair.
It banned Birthing Pod for a weaker combo. Because I played Spike Feeder, Archangel Athun and that, so...
Yeah, well, like, this deck's doing the same thing, but from, like, a less competitive perspective, right?
Oh, this is, I think, is very competitive. Yeah.
It's just so weak to counter magic. Like, you imagine this against a control deck, and, like, they just counter everything and they do nothing. Like, they play creatures, oh, Helliod countered. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
How are they going to win that one? Like, it's so shit. Like,
yeah,
I don't think winning by life gain should be a strategy that's promoted. Like, unless it's super out of the way, like Soul Sisters. Like, that's just, in their deck, if they've got the combo with Walking Ballista and they shoot me in the face, sure, whatever. But the fact that they got an alternate win condition when they don't get Walking Ballista, they can just jam a Spike Feeder and gain life to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's not alright.
No. No, I think it's kind of unfair that they get to do that.
Helliod
I
was
think
just a stupid
I don't
planeswalker
feel
to print. Like,
yeah, I don't feel like Wizards has a really good grasp of how to deal with modern. It just doesn't feel like they know what they're doing with it.
but like,
Because
the issue
they
is,
put
if
out
I want to beat a deck like that, I can beat a deck like that by playing something like uber hyper competitive that's $2,000. I don't want to be playing those decks. I want to be playing my deck, and that's like what Modern is supposed to be about, is you can take your deck, if you're good at it, construct it right, you can compete. And
Yeah.
then they just print all of these things which undermine non-tier 1 strategies. Like, why?
But you know, you and I both played it on the absolute bleeding edge of Magic. You know, going for attempts at Pro Tours and you know, playing the best deck in the format. You know, certainly top 3. And even then, most of the decks we played were weaker than that deck.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a keep. We're on the draw.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel. You know, it feels like they banned out a bunch of fair, reasonable decks, or at least things that weren't like as unreasonable. And they say they want this to be a turn 4 format, but that used to mean like, you know, like turn 4 was the important turn, not turn 4 the game was already won for your opponent.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
turn 4 your opponent's dead, or turn 2 your opponent's dead, or like turn 0 Gristlebrand. Gristle Shoal, the Neoform deck.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
my opponent is on a black-white deck, so immediately I'm thinking Kaya's Guile, and I absolutely hate my life, but I've got Stubborn Denial here, so maybe.
Yep.
I need to draw land then, and then if I can go land Curious Obsession and get my card draw happening, I have a chance. This is like super awkward though.
I mean, these have been some bad matchups. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just feels like
Scholar. All right.
They don't know what direction they're going.
I don't think
they
so.
seem just to have forgotten about it.
My opponent takes Path here. Hyena Umbra, and I'm in a lot of trouble. I can't really attack into his thing. I can't play my rank.
I mean, the direction of Magic has not been particularly great lately.
Oh, it's not even close to being particularly great.
Yeah.
God, I just don't even know what to sequence in this next turn, depending on what my opponent's doing. It's like a real awkward hand for
like a 2-power blocker, and if they just take Hyena Umbra, even if I draw land, I haven't got a good attack. I can play like Rancor Pass, because if I don't attack, Curious Obsession will fall off, or I can play Invisible Stalker Pass. Maybe that's the line. They've taken the Curious Obsession. I don't think that's correct.
No.
Doesn't matter though, because we just fucking brick on land. So I know this list is only playing 19, but I'm gonna complain about it still, because absolutely like everything has gone wrong in these league matches. So odd Southwest. Yeah, but they don't care about the direction Magic's going in any format. All they care about is printing the next set, making it busted, and selling a whole bunch of packs and making it profitable that way.
It never used to feel like that, though. I think one of the problems is they seem to be using their... you're not being this.
Well, if I draw land, I can go Stalker and then swing through. I don't want to play this game. Fuck that. Like, I mean, we bricked on land for 3 turns on the draw. Like, what even? I don't even know what my opponent's doing properly, but it doesn't matter because I was just dying to Tide Hollow Scholar.
Like they seem to be using the player bases, playtesters now. They never used to do that.
Yeah.
They used to, standard used to be 0 banned cards. And, you know, modern, the joke was that, like, they only banned things when they felt like making the format rotate. Now it feels like they're banning a overpowered deck or two or three in standard and modern every single release.
Yeah. Really does feel that way. Well, this feels like a black-white Stoneblade deck to me.
Yep.
Liliana seems odd, but maybe it's more of a control deck. But I kind of want to have, like, Seal of Primordium. It hits Tide's Hollow Scholar anyway. I kind of want Lura so I can recur that and get things back that have been discarded. Leyline of Sanctity, obviously very good. I like my counter magic here as well, I think. Maybe not all of it. Just not sure what to board out, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Hyena Umbra. Bontus? I don't know. They're the sort of deck that might actually play Bontus. Maybe a Staggering Insight and a Stalker.
Yeah, you could do that.
We're on the play as well. I guess we get more information about our opponent's deck as the game goes on too.
Yep.
Sure, I'll keep this.
Yep.
Oh. I'm pretty sure the line is just Helliod Fountain, Bogle go, but also we could play Flooded Strand, hold up counter magic for at Thoughtseize, and then go Bogle, double Bogle, or Bogle plus Rancor.
Yes.
And then I'm like guaranteed to resolve Rancor at the very least.
I think it'll depend on pretty much their first turn.
They've kept 7. I think go Bogle or...
Yeah, I'd run out of Bogle.
Because they could be Stoneblade, and if we're giving like a Stoneforge Mystic deck time, we could be shooting ourselves in the foot pretty hard. That and the sooner we get Stubborn Denial online with Ferocity of Power of 4, the better.
Yeah. I mean, there's a very good chance your next turn is Horizon Canopy Rancor.
They've always got the discard spell, man. They've always fucking got it. And I've never got the Leyline. They'll have 2 discard spells, and I will never see my Leyline. Guarantee you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just take the Rancor, my hand does nothing, man. Why is it a decision?
Well, he might not be that experienced to playing these kinds of decks.
Yep. My hand does nothing.
Yep.
Oh, it's so fair that this is a fucking strategy that just destroys me. Oh.
I mean, I like the 1 mana discard cards. I think they're quite
not when 90% of the decks are fucking playing them.
Yeah, that is less good. But, you know. There you go. You were right. Double discard.
Told you. We got some very scary looking Bogles here, man. Hopefully I draw this fucking Lurus and punish this arsehole.
I mean, he has put himself to 15.
No, he's put himself to 15. I'm coming for you.
Well, he's down to 13, and you like with your Bogles on, you can just draw into it.
So if I cycle my Horizon Canopy, I shut myself off green here, which sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Also, if I draw Lurus, I'm going to want a Lurus plus Rancor out of the grave.
Yep. Lurus was a good call.
Yeah.
I think you just pass and...
I might actually just draw Leyline and then get my opponent that way. Turn 4 Leyline. It's not a burn deck, but...
I mean, there's a very good chance he just plays Liliana, tapping for 3 here.
What's he doing now?
I mean, he knows you got Stubborn Denial, so I guess he can't, but...
Tide Hollow?
What's he going to do? Try to Tide Hollow? Lingering Souls.
That's going to make attacking awkward.
Yeah, you just counter it.
I guess I've got nothing
I
else
mean-
to do with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do
Like,
I
you got
cycle
nothing else to
Horizon
do.
Canopy first and then make a decision?
Actually, yeah. It kind of. You're kind of on the ropes, right? Like double discard into lingering is brutal.
Punished.
Yep.
Alright, counter.
Yep.
I like next turn, Luris.
I mean, he could make a discard.
Yeah, but wouldn't he have done that last turn instead of the Lingering Souls? Like Fatal Push, Path to Exile, those are things they're going to keep in for Core Spirit Dancer. They did see the Luris as a companion game 1.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess. I guess you're more likely to get punished by removal than discard here. That's kind of your thing. Will they, make you discard because they've got nothing else to do?
Flashback Lingering Souls. All right, that's pretty decent for us.
Yep.
Have you ever seen someone draw more land?
I mean, that's a joke, right? Bogles only loses to sacrifice effects in itself.
Absolutely. The joke is real. I don't know, man. I can't even, if I get Rancor back, I can't even bloody attack. Like,
Yeah, but you fetch for it anyway, and then you fetch, you play Rancor, and then it leaves you the ability to play Daybreak for next turn.
I can't see a world where I'm attacking with Bogle, right?
No.
Because then, like, push your path on Luris, Liliana next turn, I'll lose my last creature.
Yeah, well, like that Bogle is just Liliana protection at this point.
Yeah. Cool. Kaya's Guile, because that card needed printing. For 3 mana.
I mean, this has been an unfortunate one, but I do think that
Fuck off, man.
yeah, I do think having played this one out, that
I'll take it.
your sideboard probably needs tuning a bit. I mean, I get, but I'm not
It's
seeing.
an
But I'm
open
seeing a
field,
weird.
dude. Like, you don't know what you're playing against.
Yeah,
I have to
I
attack you.
get that.
I have to apply some sort of pressure, or they're going to kill me with multiple sized Skyclaves, or they're going to flicker this one with a Restoration Angel or something. Like, I have to
Yeah.
apply some sort of pressure here, even if
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
for 2 Lingering Souls tokens.
Yeah, you're just gonna try to.
So the shit thing about this is it doesn't even give me my card back. It gives me a freaking token.
Yeah.
My card is exiled forever. Really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think there are options that could have given you a little more scope against some of this. But then again, as we know, this is a weird part of the meta. So
I think I just hold my hand.
yeah, I mean, you've got tons of mana. So
They didn't have the discard last turn, and they had open mana, so
yeah, they would have used it.
Ethereal Armor is going to be way more important than Rancor at potentially getting back into the game.
Yep.
Man, look at this shitty fucking jank we're versing. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
What a good time.
I do think we can play around with things a little bit though.
Talk about your punishments. Alright, give me Seal of Primordium so I can kill the fucking thing. He's got it all.
Game over.
He's got it all.
Game over.
I give you black-white deck. Black-white.
Yeah,
fire.
I mean, yeah.
Like, literally everything they had
It's
just
super
lined
good.
up fucking perfectly. Like,
Yeah, it's super good at beating you.
alright, well, that's a nice 1-4. Holy shit, that's the worst I've done, like, ever. Ugh. I mean, the matchups though, like, holy crap.
Yeah, pull up the deck for a second.
So I've got the deck list up here. Thoughts from an outside view?
So after playing that, it feels. I mean, Bogles always has the stability issues, right? So you know, you have to deal with a certain amount of mulling for a good hand, and sometimes you don't get there.
Yeah.
It is one of the core built-in problems to the deck. But basically, we faced. I mean, that last one, you're just not beating it. Some discard and sacrifice effects for days. It's a control deck that does the control things that are really good at beating you. That aside, what did we play? Mull, that Helliod monstrosity, and mill deck, Helliod monstrosity. And what was the last one?
The last one was black-white. We had Ascendancy combo.
Yeah, so Ascendancy combo. That was right. Ascendancy and
I can't even
Mill,
remember the match
Ascendancy,
we
Helliod.
won.
Yeah, me neither.
Which match did we win?
We won against the Stoneblade.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we
won
sort of
against
drew
Stoneblade.
kinda well.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest,
So-
like from what I've seen this league, man, I've just versed some very bad matchups. Like if I was playing green white or blue white, because I've been quite successful with blue white recently, right? That's why I wanted to give Bant another go. And like blue white, I treat it as the deck that gives you the card draw. Green white, I treat you as the deck that wins the board state. Like I given my extra 2 vigilant sources with Sentinel's Eyes for 1 mana. You got your Griff Spoons for flying. You've got your Hyena Umbras as a 4 of for Totem Armor. And maybe some Spider Umbras as well. Core Spirit Dancer to combo through. All of that sort of stuff. So this is sort of a hybrid between the two decks where card draw meets permission and sort of board state type stuff.
Well, we can start with...
Honestly, like, because it's not a fair assessment of the deck, right? Because the best mode of the deck is turn 1 Bogle, turn 2 Curious Obsession, flying attack, or turn 2 Curious Obsession, or 2 Curious Obsessions, attack, draw 2 cards. Like, that's the modes where this deck shines, and we didn't get that once in any of these matches.
No. I mean, we faced 3 combo decks, one basically mid-range control deck that was horrible against us, like horrible for us, and then a Stoneblade Hatebears thing that was a pretty good matchup. The change you made, removing the 2 protection from creatures with Spirit Mantles, seems good to me. In terms of removing them, that didn't hurt you at all.
The reason why I think it's important to have your evasiveness of 1 mana with Curious Obsession is if you're only 2 auras, a Curious Obsession and an evasive aura, like your Curious Obsession's rotting in your hand for an extra turn. If they're blocking with like a Tarmogoyf or a Scavenging Ooze, whatever the creature might be, if they've got a blocking creature, Curious Obsession falls off if you can't attack. So obviously, having 1 mana flying spells or trample or first strike, so you can sort of chain in those attacks, I think is kind of important. Staggering Insight, obviously a great card, doesn't fall off, but I think the correct number is 2 to 3.
For staggerings.
Yeah.
Because like staggering was a card I was going to tell you I don't like.
Right. Well, like honestly, you could just remove these staggering insights, and then add a couple more 1 mana auras, and you could be sweet. You could add in some extra Hyena Umbras, some extra Arcane Flights, Griff Spoon, you name it. Like you can add auras.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like staggering insight, lifelink and draw when you deal damage is pretty good for 2 manas, but almost all of your auras, the exceptions being Daybreak, Ethereal Armor, and Rancor, are pretty weak on actual stats, which means you've got a lot of utility from them. You know, your Umbras are always weak on stats, but you get the Umbra plus something, flying and +1/+1 from Arcane Flight, and you know, +1/+1 draw from Curious Obsession. But this deck felt slower.
So are you looking back at like the likes of Curious Obsession in the staggering? Sorry, not Curious Obsession. All That Glitters in the staggering insight slot.
That's what I was gonna suggest, because you've got
or
you've got.
Would you just look at more 1-mana auras though? Because like obviously we've got a million auras we can choose from. We've got 3 colors. There's so many good 1-mana auras. There's even like Cartouche of Solidarity that hasn't even made it into consideration for the deck because we just have that many good 1-mana auras, right? My concern about going All That Glitters. So firstly, you're going to be reducing the number of blue cards and auras in the deck. Secondly, I don't really think it's needed if the deck operates the way you want it to operate. So the way you want it to operate is like you get a couple of extra card draws off your Curious Obsessions, and that's where the extra power comes from. Like drawing the extra auras. That's the way I sort of see it a bit more. I get what you're saying is in like high impact auras. Like you've got that with your Ethereal Armor, with your Rancor, with your Daybreak. Auras that add more than 1 damage. But
because you were just slower than every other.
I think you need to decide on a deck direction though, right? And you really need to come down to a decision as to why you're playing blue. Is the reason we're playing blue just because we want to have access to permission via Force of Negation or Stubborn Denial? Or is the reason we're playing blue also because we want to take advantage of things like the card draw, things like Invisible Stalker, Arcane Flight, Staggering Insight?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
there could be a good argument for cutting 2 Staggering Insight, right?
We could just easily run
1 Arcane Flight.
We could easily just run a green-white list with the All That Glitters in that slot as a 2, maybe even a 3 of, and obviously you're running a deck that has lots of impact auras. But I mean, like the reason why I'm specifically on blue, and I'm not saying it's a functional reason, is for permission and card draw. Because those are the things that blue gives you that green white doesn't.
Yeah. Well, if you see this as being like a deck like that wants to use that Curious Obsession like pretty much every game, right? Invisible Stalker is great for that. As is Curious Obsession, like Bogle, like Cover Scout into Curious Obsession, Arcane Flight. In that case, you could cut the 2 Staggering Insights and play 1 All That Glitters, basically as a slightly worse third, like a 5th Imperial Armor. Ethereal Armor.
Yeah.
And then put in 1 extra Arcane Flight. You've got more than enough blue for your Force of Negation. Doing that.
Opinion. Hyena Umbra, is it even needed? Because like I can just take out like both Hyena Umbras here, bring in some more Arcane Flights, bring in a Griff Spoon as well, and then I've got 5 flying effects to enable a turn 2 Curious Obsession.
I mean, I've always liked the Umbra effect, but how many times are you finding that your Bogle is actually getting destroyed?
Well, you saw it then, like, they didn't have it. And I've seen some blue-white lists recently, and they're just running Terminus again instead of Verdict. And if you're versing like an Uro deck, they're running 1 Verdict, maybe 2 in their entire 75. And it's like, what's the...
Yeah, like, so if you don't... I mean, you give them... You know, I people watching this don't know, but my big theory on winning Magic, in fact, winning most things, is about stacking up percentage chances. So if you go against a deck that has board wipe destroy effects, you're giving them a few more percent. but you're hoping to take those percentage points and put them against more decks, giving you a greater win percentage against more decks. So if you're not facing like Supreme Verdicts and stuff, then yeah, like you don't need the Umbra effect.
Yeah. So I think I'm actually gonna go against maybe popular opinion, and just remove the Umbra effect altogether there, and just at least test it and see how it goes. I'm not saying it's necessarily like the optimal thing, but like doing that will give us access to 4 arcane flights. So we have 8 1-mana blue auras, plus our 4 forces and 7 creatures. So what's that? 19 blue cards in the deck. Decent number of targets for Force of Negation, I'll tell you that much. So if we're just completely cutting Hyena Umbra there, we do have 1 slot left. That could be an All That Glitters. I'm not opposed to that. That could also be a Griff Spoon.
Yeah.
Maybe a Cartouche if you think the extra token's worth something, or a Sentinel's Eyes if you like the Vigilance.
I like probably the Griff Spoon, maybe the All That Glitters.
Yeah. Because
if you're playing Curious Obsession, as you said, your route to winning is largely drawing enough stuff. Griff Spoon is basically another path to flying.
I don't have any Griff Spoon here. I guess I can just search it. Yeah, so I think...
Hang on.
I think if you do something like Griff Spoon, right, you're more taking the deck in the direction of getting that extra card draw, which I'm saying is my vision.
Yeah, well, that's why you're playing it. I just think you just need to increase your turn speed a little bit, and All That Glitters does that.
Yeah, well,
I obviously don't love the card. It's just a slightly worse Ethereal Armor. I'd rather you play 5 Ethereal Armors, but deck building rules.
Oh, well, that's fair. Deck building rules will get you, won't they? As far as the sideboard is concerned, obviously we came up against a few pretty wild and wacky matchups. Is there anything from the sideboard here? I've just dragged in the likes of Damping Sphere and Suppression Field, and those would have been pretty good in a couple of those games. Also, Torpor is another one.
I'm a huge fan of Suppression Field, as you know. I think everyone is asleep on that card, which I think is their loss. It's the only reason people don't play it more is most of them either are hurt by it or have forgotten all the things that it deals with. Almost every game you played, Suppression Field would have been detrimental to your opponent.
Yeah.
In a way that I would have brought it in. Yeah.
Because obviously, Helliod combo, very good. Against Jeskai Storm, it wouldn't have done much, or Jeskai Ascendancy combo, whatever you want to call it.
No, it doesn't do much there, but...
I mean, another option is Pithing Needle, which would be good.
I prefer the Sphere. Most people are pretty... Suppression Field, sorry. Most people are pretty close on mana costs. That last one, it would have put a lot more pressure on Liliana.
I don't see myself just boarding in Suppression Field against a Stoneblade deck. But against something with Liliana, it's something I've definitely done in the past.
In Stoneblade, it hits their ability to put their Batterskull into play, and then hits the bounce effect of the Batterskull, the equip effect of the Batterskull. It hits the Jace that they play.
But yeah, the other thing is, I do need to have card slots to take cards out to board them in, and I don't always necessarily have that against Stoneblade. I see myself wanting the Force of Vigors and the Seal of Primordiums before I want the Suppression Field, because if I just destroy the Batterskull, hey, it's dealt with. As opposed to Suppression Field, which does nothing when it's on the battlefield. Force does something in my hand when I draw it.
Yep. I mean, definitely fair, but like suppression field hits so many things because like
So
your seal will kill a
Stony Silence,
sword.
I'm thinking, is a little bit narrow. Basically, like Walking Ballista, and like a Tron deck. A Tron was my main reason for putting it in there, to hit their expedition maps, to shut them off getting blast zones and things like that.
So this is how I think about it, man. Stony Silence, I think, is in pretty much all cases worse than suppression field now that they've banned affinity. Because suppression field was good against affinity anyway, but like Stony Silence screwed their mana, screwed everything about that deck. Just completely turned off the deck. Whereas like almost everything that you want Stony Silence for is things where they're like using it to ramp mana. They're using their artifacts to ramp mana, or they're using their artifacts like the Helliod deck to go infinite, and you just can't do that with a suppression field on the board. So I think it's just always, at the moment, it's just always worse than a suppression field. So
Yeah, so I'm sort of thinking like there's a stronger place for both suppression field and torpor orb at the moment. Obviously, with sideboard numbers, I'm now up to like 21 cards. I think in a lot of cases against Tron, Damping Sphere is going to be as good as a Gadok Teague, but also it can't be removed. It's also good against Normal Storm or that Jeskai combo deck, so I can see an argument for like one Gadok Teague, one Damping Sphere, one Lavinia. They're all sort of like crossover effects that do slightly different things, while not legend ruling myself out or anything as well.
I mean, in that way, you can probably get away with playing all three and just seeing
which one I like
how
most.
they feel. Yeah. I mean,
okay, so other than that, obviously I've got a very chunky looking sideboard here.
Yep.
Lurrus, would you say it's all that necessary?
In those games, it felt pretty bad.
Like, the only time I returned an aura in any of those games was when I returned one Rancor, which against the deck that just exiled my Lurrus with the spirit thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think as far as things we might want in our sideboard in this current metagame, I think maybe Lurrus is just taking up an unnecessary slot and can just go bye-bye for now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was amazing before they changed it, but
what do you think of the extra
just
stubborn denial in the sideboard? Is that sort of redundant? Like, Counter Magic didn't... I brought it in, but I never saw it, and it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel comfortable passing judgment on stubborn denial based on those games.
Yeah.
I just, as you said, you put it in a lot and then didn't see it, and so we didn't see its impact, and you lost a lot in ways where your counter magic was not realistically the solution. So, so yeah, I see like Soul Lantern is being used because you were playing Lurrus, right?
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that it only targets my opponent's graveyard as well, and I've actually started playing it in green-white Bogles, because we get our Rancors back. I've got 2 Sentinel's Eyes, I've got like 4 Griff Spoon, and I find if I'm versing like a Jund deck, Soul Guide Lantern's like mostly good enough at shrinking Goyf, but then if it's grindy and they destroy my auras, I get them back. Like those specific auras I can get back, or if they make me discard them, I can like get them back. Like,
I think it's decent. It's just
don't think
maybe loses a point or two of usefulness given the lack of Lurrus, but it's still a very solid card. So
yeah, I don't know if I want Rest in Peace more here, because I'm only running 5 auras I can return without a Lurrus.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm running 9.
Yeah, I mean, I'd keep it for now, but just keep an eye on it. Same with your stubborn denial.
I think maybe Torpor Orb might be a bit knee jerk. I have in the last 2
I
days
think
seen
your
2 decks
suppression
running
fields.
that spirit.
Yep.
And Suppression Field might be a bit too many as well.
Yeah, 2 and 2 I'd be okay with.
Maybe even I just -4. So I haven't got that many green I've only got 12 green cards in the deck here. It's not that many to reliably hit it. Maybe Seal of Primordium's just better.
Yeah, probably in this version, since you've gone so heavy on the blue for the Force, you've ended up cutting a lot of what would have been green.
Yeah,
so,
but I think we want the
well, you
two
want the
of them
effect,
at least.
Yeah.
And then we're just sort of like one card shot. I might just remove the Stubborn Denial and just run a whole bunch of like 2-ofs in the sideboard for this list here.
Well, one of the big traps a lot of new Bogles players fall into is over sideboarding. We've talked a lot in this about the inconsistencies that are just built into this deck, as well as the fact that you need speed, a certain amount of speed.
Yeah.
For a lot of decks, your way to win is just to put them on a clock. And attacking life totals is a form of control. If they've only got 2 turns left to do things, they have to make sure their win condition or their answer is in those 2 turns. If they don't have a 3rd turn, they can't play for 3, 4, 5 turns if they can't answer the clock you're putting on.
Yeah.
So it is quite an important thing to keep up in a deck like this, because this is basically like an aggro control deck now. So I think you were just a little short on the aggro.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So, and like you don't want to get into a control battle, which obviously even like most aggro control battles, control decks don't want to do.
I mean, my issue there was like a lot of the times I had the counter magic, it just didn't do anything. It didn't. It either didn't interact with my opponent, or if it could interact, I either didn't have the other blue card to pitch to a Force. I was tapped out holding a Stubborn Denial, or my creature didn't have Ferocity, and I couldn't Stubborn Denial for, just straight counter. It was counter unless they pay 1.
Well, doing what we've done to this deck, we've actually lowered the curve just marginally, like the average spell cost on the curve, because we've gone down to, we lost 1 2-mana aura. So that should help you a little bit with that. And we've upped the power and average power and toughness of your creatures a little bit by doing that as well. Plus your evasiveness, which should help things out. And Torpor Orb Suppression Field gives you at least something to put in against some decks that certainly otherwise you'd, I think, have no hope of beating. So.
Any comments on the land base? Just lastly?
No, as you mentioned earlier on, you removed 1 green source for a blue source, and I think that's still the correct thing to do.
1 white source for a blue source.
Oh, 1 white source, sorry. And you kind of hate to see the 3 basics in there, but also you just can't remove them with the meta at the moment. There's just too much land destruction.
I honestly think I could go down to 2. But it's just adding in an extra fetch land, essentially.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like... So the thing about it is not having 1 of each means that it is theoretically possible for your opponents to, Ghost Quarter the right land and cut you off your things, like your colours. It does make your deck a little less consistent mana-wise, which is always the thing. So... Yeah, I think just be aware of that, and if you see a switch, shift in the meta, then...
Well, obviously, I based this land base off of a list I found online that did quite well at a preliminary. But
and that's
there are options to play things like City of Brass or Mana Confluence, which I've seen other lists doing before. One of the main reasons I haven't is because they're 30 tickets, or they were when I checked. And for a deck that I might be playing on the fringe, it didn't really seem that worthwhile to me.
Definitely, and the reason he hasn't chosen any of them either is, as I was saying, the path to exile, Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin gets you a basic as well. I think, I can't remember. I haven't actually played against that card much.
It does. Dodge it, so. It does. Yeah.
So there you go. So that's why it's those I destroy your dual land, you get a basic. And he's got one of each because he's worried they'll cut him off of like double white for a coronet, or they'll like blue for what he needs after he's got a green to get a Boggle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like so I think be aware of that, and just if you see a shift
I
away
think I'm
from
going
it,
to go aside here and have a think about the land base and analyze the number of different colored auras we've got, and maybe look a bit closer at like percentage wise, whether or not I need to shift one of the lands to a different land or change like 2 lands. I think it's pretty close.
Yep.
But like, I might want to remove a basic land, or I might want to get rid of this waterlogged grove for a mana confluence or something. I think it's pretty close, though, to where it wants to be. I think it's more, look at the percentages, run the list with the current aura base that we have. If I like the current aura base, I can then look at maybe fine-tuning the land again from there, if the land's not quite working. But I think, aura-wise, this is a decent direction to take it. If you don't like all the glitters, you can go Grispoon or something instead for the 6 flying effects. Yep. I think I'm pretty happy wrapping this one up there, man. Thank you very much for coming on and commentating with me.
My pleasure.
It's good for me having an extra perspective, and obviously you've played at a high level, and have a little bit of a different view on the game than what I do. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. If people did, let me know, and maybe we can make it a semi-regular thing. If Alex is keen for that is.
I can come back.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to wrap that one up there, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like or comment down below. If you're new and like the comment, want daily Bogles content, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications every time a new video goes live. Until next time, Alex and I will be seeing you sometime soon. Thanks, guys. All right.
See ya.
See ya.